Hi guys, this is the second video, which I think is pretty cool. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. I'm making this up as I go. So today I wanted to talk to you guys a bit about myself again. Yes, I know, you've probably heard enough about me. I'm not some self-righteous, conceited person. I just find it is an easy topic to start off with. So I am going to talk to you guys about my non-binary identity. The question that I get asked quite often is, how did you figure out that you identified as non-binary? Truth is, it was a really long-winded process that took quite a few years, especially because non-binary is not something that is advertised or is publicly really talked about. We talk about binary trans people, but we do not talk about non-binary trans. So it took a very long time for me to actually come across it, which meant there was a large period of time where I was very confused and didn't think that there was anything that explained what I was feeling. So I guess it really all started in my old school. I went to a all-girls Church of England school, and that sucked. It was a very posh school. I'm gonna call it posh. It was pretty posh. So it meant that there was a lot of pressure, at least I felt, to look the part. To fit in was a large reason why it took me so long to figure out who I really was. I went through the crazy feminine phase, and if you see me today, you'll probably be like, how the hell is that even a thing? Like, what? I wore dresses, I had my long hair, I wore makeup, I painted my nails. I did it all. And for a large portion of time, I thought that the reason why I was uncomfortable with all that was because of my physical appearance. So I thought that I was overweight, and that was why I felt uncomfortable wearing a dress. I felt uncomfortable with my long hair framing my round face. I put makeup on because I had acne, not because it was something that I wanted to do, and I didn't totally realise that at first. That it took a really long time of me trying all this stuff and trying to be a person that I wasn't, to realise that it wasn't my physical appearance that was stressing me out. It was the way that I was actually portraying myself, and the way that I was dressing didn't feel right for who I was. So I cut my hair off. I'd done it once before, didn't go too well because it ended up being this curly, weird, I don't even know what it was horrific. And everyone took the mick out of me for it, so I was like, you know what, obviously short hair doesn't work for me, I'm just going to grow my hair back out again. Didn't cut it for about 2 years. For me, that was one of the first things that suddenly I was like, okay, I feel more comfortable in the way I present myself and the way I look. The second part was clothing. For me, clothing is a massive, massive part of my non-binary identity. I did not feel comfortable in a dress. It just, every time I had to go out to a social event with friends, I felt this need to dress in a more feminine way because guys would be there, and you know, that was the thing that everyone was dressing up for, and I refused to admit the fact that I like girls at this point, so I was like, oh, I must look pretty for all these guys. Oh, how much I laugh at myself right now, but I would, you know, try and dress up in these low-cut blouses, and oh god, it's painful to even just go back to that point in my head. So yeah, for me, I prefer a more masculine appearance. I have always been a massive fan of t-shirts, jeans, Converse, and a jumper. So easy. It's just nice and easy, and it's really comfortable, and it's what makes me feel comfortable in myself. The other thing that I do that not everyone who's non-binary and not everyone who's binary trans does is I bind my chest. So for those who do not know what binding is, it is basically a garment that you wear underneath your clothes. It's kind of like a bra, but it compresses your chest quite more drastically than a bra does. So it gives you more of a flat-chested appearance, which is something that makes me feel a lot more comfortable in myself when I leave the house. Even though all of that was going on, I still didn't totally realise how I identified. I get misgendered every now and then, and the first couple of times it happened I got really excited and really liked the feeling that someone thought that I could be a guy. It really made me happy and comfortable, and I suddenly started thinking, okay, that's interesting. Maybe I want to be a guy. Maybe that's what this kind of general confusion in my brain is. I sat down, I thought about it, and I was like, no, it still doesn't feel right. It still doesn't feel correct. There was a part of it that didn't fit with me. I was like, I don't completely not feel like I am feminine, but I also do not completely feel like I am a guy. So that was a very confusing time for me, because I was like, well, how can you not be a girl or a guy? I mean, what else is there? And then I found the most wonderful YouTuber who is my genuine inspiration, Ash Hardell. Ash is a non-binary trans YouTuber who talks a lot about gender identity, but also stuff in the LGBT community. And I watched a couple of her videos and I suddenly was just like, okay, that feels right, you know, saying that I am non-binary, saying that I do not identify as either female or male, or I identify as both or neither at the same time. Suddenly I was like, oh my god, I've found it. And that for me was a massive, massive relief, and it was a great feeling to be able to kind of sit back and be like, okay, now this all makes sense. Like, I understand better how I actually feel about myself. But even though I'd figured that out, I still found it very difficult to explain to people that I identified as non-binary, because there are so many people out there who aren't as understanding as some of the people that I know, and who get very confused when you say to them, I don't identify as a boy or a girl, but I also identify as both and neither at the same time. And they're just like, that makes no sense. You're either a boy or you're a girl. There is no in between. How can you not be one of the other? And it is actually quite a difficult thing, you know, to explain to people that you don't want to be a gender, basically. So that for me was really difficult, but I was very lucky that the people that I am in uni with and some of my really close friends from my old school were really supportive and really understanding of all of it. To be perfectly honest, my ex was also one of the people who really gave me the confidence to be myself and to stop kind of living in this little shell where I was doing what was easy without having to fight a battle. I was dressing feminine because it was easier than admitting that there was something that I wasn't comfortable with. It was easier than dealing with all this, so I just pushed it away. But my ex definitely helped me figure that out, so thanks for that if you watch this. Really meant a lot to me. For anyone out there who is questioning their gender identity, I would say that you just have to persevere. As much as it genuinely sucks and is really difficult at times, you will find something that feels right. And even if there isn't something that feels right, you do not have to label yourself. You can feel exactly how you want to feel without a label attached to yourself. And I'm a massive, massive believer that we do not need to say, I am this and I am that, because in the end we are all just people. Everyone out there is a person, and there is nothing different between us. And, you know, who you choose to love or how you choose to identify makes absolutely no difference to how you should be able to lead your life. You know, I don't need to brand myself as a non-binary person. I don't need to inform everyone of how I identify or who I am attracted to, because to be honest it makes no difference to my ability to do a job or my ability to literally go get my groceries. I'm simply a person going about my daily life and presenting myself in a way that makes me comfortable and loving people who I love. There is nothing wrong with any of that. So if you are struggling with this kind of stuff, I know it sucks, it really does, but it's a matter of sometimes just owning how you feel and being unapologetic. You can't apologise for being who you are, so don't. If anyone who's watching this has a problem with any of the things I'm saying, don't watch this video. It's not like anyone's tying you down and forcing you to listen to someone talk about this stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say for this video. If anyone has any other questions about non-binary or anything to do with my life, including my awesome dinosaur bed sheets, because we all know they're the best, yeah, just drop a comment down below and I will most definitely get back to you. And if anyone wants more elaboration or anything, then I'm more than happy to do another video on this. Likelihood is it's going to be something that comes up a lot because it is something that is very significant in my life. It is my life, so likelihood is it will pop up again at some point. But otherwise, just like and subscribe if you already haven't, that'd be great. And thank you so much for getting to the end of this long rambling video of me. Yay! Anyway, thanks guys, bye!